Sunder Sounds ASMR. And today I've got some questions for you. Don't worry, they're very simple, they're very easy to grasp, and I'm pretty sure every single one of you will be able to answer these with absolute certainty. Okay? So, let's get right into it. I've got my questions right here for you. Let's begin. Alright, question number 1. What would happen if the moon was suddenly turned into glass instead of rock? Instead of it being rock. What would happen? Do you know? Come on, everybody knows this. This is simple. Okay. I see. Yep. Okay, yeah, no. You see, personally, it's really that simple, but if the moon was glass, then the entire solar system would just be turned into like a disco room, or like a disco dance floor. You got all these gleaming stuff everywhere, Yeah, you'd have to watch out though, because that if there was a glass ball, it might magnify the sun a little bit. It might scorch some areas of the earth, so you might have to watch out. All right, question number 2. How many different species of insects have lived and gone extinct without us ever knowing that they existed? Come on, I want an exact number. Okay. Not even close. Come on now. These are supposed to be easy. Come on. I'm not gonna tell you. Why would I tell you? I mean, I know it off the top of my head, like everybody else. I'm not telling you. Figure it out on your own. Okay. Question number 3. If lightning were a different color, would we still be afraid of it? Or I guess some people are afraid of lightning, but nobody wants to get struck by lightning. But say if it was like pink, would people be like, yo, that's actually kind of tight. I might just go and get me some of that lightning. So, do you think so? Yes? No? Okay. Fair enough. Question number 4. If we had no concept of sound, like if nobody alive could be able to hear, and nobody did ever hear, like if nobody was born with the ability to listen and have, listen to sound, how would we describe the wind? What would we describe it as? How would you describe it? Okay. Yeah, you see how I feel like it would be more like, I would describe it as like a tickling sensation. But, obviously I would have to do that in the way of explaining it without, words, because nobody can listen, nobody can comprehend language because it will not have been invented. Okay, well, moving on. What would happen to the ecosystem if all the fish suddenly became amphibious? Come on, easy question. That's like a low ball. That's like tutorial level question right there. Like if you don't get this question right, then what are you even doing here? Like you should never get another job ever again if you can't answer this simple question. It's like preschoolers can answer this question. Oh my gosh. You know what? That's terrible. Come on. Alright. Question number 6. I don't even know if I want to continue, honestly. I mean, you're like what? You're like 0-5 right now. It's terrible. Okay. Question number 6. Could a whale theoretically live in zero gravity if it had a supply of water? So like if we launched a whale into space, I mean, I know whales are mammals and they don't breathe water, but if they had water and they were launched into space, could they survive in a zero gravity environment? Come on, yes or no question. Okay. Question number 7. If a tree falls in the forest and no living thing is around to witness it, does it still decay? Ah, you thought I was going to say, does it make a sound? No. Does a tree still decay if there is no living thing around to witness it? Does it still decay? It's like rendering things in Minecraft, you know? It's like if you set fire to something and then you run out of its render distance, it will not continue to burn down, or at least that's how it was in older versions. So, do you think it's the same in real life? Who knows? Question number 8. Could a plant evolve to survive on the surface of Venus? Come on. Could a plant evolve to survive Venus? Okay. Okay. Why? Okay. I see. Question number 9. How long could a fully intact, airtight spaceship remain floating in space before it naturally falls apart? I want this time limit all the way down to the second. You gotta be specific. Very, very specific. Specific. You gotta be specific. Okay. That's wrong. And you're off by a massive margin. Like yeah. You're not right, I'm sorry. You're wrong. You're wrong. Everybody else I've asked this question has gotten that one right, and you're the only one. So, sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna move over here. Come on now. This next one is a really easy one. Alright, question number 10. If there were no predators or environmental pressures, what's the largest an ant could physically be? Like, how many times larger could an ant? Oh, and let's say, for the sake of being more specific, a carpenter ant. How big would a carpenter ant be if there was no predators or environmental pressures to keep it so small? How big would it get? How many times bigger would it get? A carpenter ant be? How much bigger would it get? Okay. That's still wrong. Like, come on. You're gonna take a fat L on this one. This whole set of questions, you're not even right. You're not even close to right. Like what are you doing? That's just embarrassing. Really embarrassing. I'm sorry. Okay. Question number 11. Who was the first person to discover that a cooked egg doesn't go back to being raw? Like, if you cooked an egg, it doesn't just go back to being, like super runny and mostly clear, like the egg whites. And, who do you think discovered that? I want a name, an address, social security number, phone number, birth certificate. I want all of that. Driver's license number. Oh, okay. Presumably this was before all of that existed, but I want a first and last name. No, it was not Thomas Jefferson. What are you on? Okay. Question number 12. How many ancient statues or artifacts have been accidentally thrown away because people thought that they were just junk? Come on. Chop. Come on, chop. Faster. Okay. Yep, no, that's also wrong. Yeah, okay. The real answer is, you know what, I'm still not telling you. You gotta figure this out for yourself. Like, come on, like the rest of us. We all know this. Just catch up. Question number 13. Lucky number 13. What's the longest recorded time a human has gone without blinking? No, put your phone away. Don't you look this up. I want an answer in 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, that's wrong. You lose. Good day, sir. You win nothing. You lose. Even if you did answer that correctly, you didn't get it in time. I'm sorry. Alright, question number 14. Question number 14. How many times has the same melody been invented independently throughout history before music notation was a thing? And I'm counting like people just humming a melody to themselves. How many times has the most repeated, reinvented, or invented melody, independently invented melody, been created? Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Number 15. Number 15. Burger King. No. Number 15. Could an ancient Roman citizen, if dropped in the modern world, figure out how to use a vending machine? You think they could? No, I'm not talking like you dropping them in front of a vending machine and saying, hey, figure it out. I'm saying if they were dropped anywhere, what are the odds that they figure out how to use, or that they use a vending machine properly in their time here? You gotta keep in mind, if they were dropped in the United States, they probably wouldn't speak English. Even though in movies like The Gladiator, or Gladiator, is it The Gladiator or Gladiator? You know, they speak English, but that's just because it was filmed for American audiences or English-speaking audiences. So, do you think so? Okay, that's fair. Honestly, I believe that as well. That one's a little subjective, but here we go. Here's another one, kind of in the same subject. Question number 16. If the Great Library of Alexandria never burned, how much further ahead do you think science would be today? How much further ahead? Like, technologically speaking, like, how many more decades or years ahead do you think we would be? Several decades, a century, 2 centuries, a millennia. I guess we'll never know. But I know. You won't, though. Okay. Question number 17. What's the closest two strangers have ever stood next to each other in history without realizing their future descendants would marry? Come on, how close? How close? Okay. You're probably right. Or probably not. I mean, what do I look like? The all-knowing genie? Or the all-knowing magical owl? I have no idea. That could be right, that could not be right. Okay. Question number 18. If an archaeologist 5,000 years in the future found your phone, what would they think it would be used for? Now, this is assuming that they don't know what phones are used for. You think they would know what it is? Probably. Probably. That's assuming World War III doesn't wipe us all out and we go back to the Stone Age like that. Like that. Okay. Question number 19. Have any historical wars ever started over a complete misunderstanding? Like someone literally mishearing something? I want a list of all of these wars. Have it on my desk by tomorrow, 12 p.m. Okay. Question number 20. What's the longest period in human history where absolutely nothing interesting has happened? And I'm not talking like the inkling of being interesting. I'm talking like absolutely nothing of interest happening in human history. What is the longest period that's gone on? Okay. Question number 21. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Now you might be wondering, what do I mean? African or European? Well, obviously. I mean the European swallow. Okay. Thought I'd get you with that one. Like I've gotten you with all the other ones. But, you know, you actually got that one right. That's crazy. That's crazy, your first one. What do you want, a gold medal? No, you don't get a gold medal. Okay. Question number 22. Could an AI ever create a language that is too complex for humans to learn? Come on, this is an easy one. The answer is yes. Okay, come on. I didn't have to explain that one to you. Yes. AI could create a language that's too complex for humans to understand. Yes. You know how I know this? Because it's happened before. It's happened before. Question number 20. Question number 23. How much personal data has been permanently lost because someone forgot a password? And I'm talking in terms of like data storage. Like how many megabytes, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes worth of data has been lost. I want an exact number down to the single bit worth of data. How many bits worth of data has been lost because somebody forgot a password? This is cumulatively. I'm talking like everybody. Okay. Question number 24. 24. If you cloned your phone and had two identical ones, could you trick facial recognition into unlocking both phones? You think so? Okay. Question number 25. You see, you know what's better than 24? It's 25. Obviously. Everybody knows that. How much data would be required to digitally store everything a human has ever seen in their lifetime? And I'm talking like at the human resolution of eyeballs. Like, what are humans seeing? Gotta be 4K, you know? Gotta be, 16K, 32K, 180K. And however many frames, how much data do you think it would be to record everything that a human has ever saw? Okay. Question number 26. If you had access to the internet 500 years before anyone else, how much could you actually change history? I'm talking like, if you, if like, I'm talking like right now, you had internet access 500 years into the future, and you could look things up, how much do you think it could change history? I'm assuming, obviously, you would look up like, Bitcoin prices or something, so you can invest now. Or like the next biggest stock price or something to, get rich. But obviously, that's like selfish personal needs or personal gain. But like, let's say there was like, let's say that there was like a war that broke out, or a discovery that you wanted to steal for your own. How much do you think it would actually change history? Okay. I got my eye on you. Question number 27. Would a robot ever be able to tell if it is truly conscious? Or would it just be simulating self-awareness? Do you think a robot could actually truly become self-conscious? Be self-aware? Be able to make its own decisions all entirely by itself? You think so? Okay. Question number 28. What's the longest an unopened email has remained in someone's inbox before being read? It's gotta be a couple of years, right? Or a few decades. I mean, how long has email been around? Make sure you answer that as well. Question number 29. If a self-driving car gets a speeding ticket, who's legally responsible? The car manufacturer? The person who is in the passenger seat? The person the car is registered to? Who is responsible? You tell me. Okay. Is it possible for a CAPTCHA test to become so hard that no human could actually pass it? You know, like the CAPTCHAs, you know, like the click here, like I am not a robot type thing, or they'll have you select a series of photos that meet a certain criteria. Do you think a CAPTCHA could be so hard that not a single living person, past, present, or future, could figure it out or pass it? Okay. Question number 31. If we could see all the bacteria and microscopic organisms around us at all times, would we ever touch anything ever again? Do you think we'd ever be able to come to terms with that? I don't think I would. I definitely wouldn't. I'd be too grossed out. Alright, question number 32. If humans didn't have bones and were just like floppy sacks of flesh and organs, how would our society have evolved? How would we have evolved as a species if we didn't have any bones and we're just all floppy? If we were invertebrates, would we be just a bunch of SpongeBobs running around? That'd be kind of dope, honestly. That'd be dope. Think about that. Okay. Question number 34. I'm sorry. Question number 33. Almost got a little bit ahead of myself there. What's the smallest possible event that could have completely changed the course of history? The smallest. I'm talking like if you had a pen or like a highlighter on a desk and you move it like an inch to the left or to the right, and it like spontaneously started, nuclear war. Yeah, that seems like I'm talking like the smallest thing that created the biggest outcome. What was it? Okay. Question number 34. If time travel is ever invented in the future, why haven't we met any time travelers yet? Are they hiding? Are they amongst us? Are they slowly changing the course of present history as we speak? I guess we'll never know. Not yet, at least. Not yet. Question number 35. Could there be an entirely separate universe existing in the same space as ours, but we just have no way of perceiving it? You know, it's funny. This question it reminds me of this one TV show called The Flash, where there is the theory of the multiverse is confirmed, and every place inhabits the same space and time, or the same time and space, but none of the parallel universes can see each other because they're vibrating at different frequencies. That's why you can't see them. Do you think it's true? You think the multiverse is real? Personally, I do. I mean, I know it's real. I mean, I've been to Earth 57. Come on. Who hasn't been to Earth 57? Oh, I see now. Yep. You're from Earth 4. I've been around that part. It doesn't really do it for me. So, yeah. Question number 36. If your consciousness were transferred into an identical clone of yourself, would you notice if you were in a different body that was not your own, if it was an exact replica? My guess would be no, because you seem pretty clueless based off of the answers you've given Bill for like all of these questions so far. I mean, come on. Talk about being self-aware. You definitely aren't. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Question number 37. If you were born without the ability to recognize the concept of time, how would you experience the world? Because, if you I'm 2 years old, you wouldn't know. You'd be able to say, hey, I'm 20, or I'm 27, or I'm 50, but you wouldn't know what that really means. You could say it. You could know that that's your age, but you wouldn't really know what that means. Like, what does it mean to be 30? What does it mean to be 40? You don't know. Question number 38. What if colors are actually different for everybody else, but we've all just agreed on their names? What if? That's a big old what if. There's really not a right answer for that, but what if? 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 Question number 39. If a simulation were advanced enough, could its inhabitants ever figure out that they were simulated? I mean, obviously, this is just the Matrix. I mean, we are in a simulation right now. I mean, obviously, I haven't found out how to leave the simulation yet. That's why I'm still here. But as soon as I figure it out, you bet I'm leaving. I'm gonna be like Neo from the Matrix. Come on now. Who wouldn't want to be like Neo from the Matrix? Question number 40. Is there a number so large that just thinking about it would take up all of your brain's processing power? Like, if you had to visualize and think about that number, how big would it have to be? Or is there a possibility that it would use up every single area of your brain to process it and you wouldn't be able to? You think so? Okay. Question number 41. Has anybody ever lived their entire life without sneezing? There probably is. Now, there might be some technicalities for that one, but I'm talking like somebody who's lived to like the age of like 18 or older. Do you think there's anybody who's going without sneezing their entire life? Probably not. Who knows? Question number 42. What's the most steps a person has ever taken in their lifetime? Come on, I want an exact number. This isn't multiple choice. I want an exact number. Free response. Show your work as well. I want an annotated bibliography as well. Come on. Okay. Question number 43. What's the largest, let me rephrase. What's the longest anyone has stared at a single object without blinking? And I'm talking like stared at an object and not moved their gaze and not blinked. What's the longest that's happened? Down to the very second. Down to the very nanosecond. Okay. Question number 44. What's the highest number of different languages someone has spoken fluently at the same time? Now, I'm not talking about like saying English and French and like Spanish all in the same exact word. No, I'm talking like fluently being able to speak it. Like, how many languages has one person been able to fluently speak in like a certain time period? Like let's say you were able to fluently speak 40 languages by the age of 50, but like at the age of like 60 you forgot how to fluently speak like 5 of those languages. I'm talking about what's the highest amount of different languages that somebody's been able to fluently speak. Okay. Question number 45. If someone has ever lived for over 100 years, have they accidentally met the same stranger twice without ever realizing it? If somebody's ever lived that long, do you think they've met the same stranger twice and not realized it? Probably. I'm sure it's happened to me, and I'm not even 100. Question number 46. If you took a census of every single object you own, what would be the most common color for all of these objects? The most common color for all of these objects. See, for me, it would probably be black or white, because I white shirts, hoodies, shoes, a lot of stuff. This paper is white, but it's got black lettering. Think about it. Question number 47. What's the smallest decision you've ever made that unknowingly changed your life forever? Like, I'm talking like if you flipped a coin and the outcome was not the outcome it originally was. Like, let's say that you flipped a coin for like heads or tails or something, and like you chose heads and something happened. What do you think would have happened if it, No, I don't think that's what they're asking. Yeah, what's the smallest decision you've ever made without that unknowingly changed your life forever? Like let's say you decided to drink water like an hour later than you normally do, and it unknowingly caused you to find a winning lottery ticket on the ground. Like, what's the smallest decision you've ever made that had the biggest impact on your life? I want to know. This is for science, after all. Okay. Question number 48. If you could see a map of everywhere you've ever stepped, how big of an area would it actually cover? How big would it cover? Okay. How many steps do you think would be on that map? How many steps have you taken in your entire lifetime? Okay. Question number 49. If everyone's thoughts were transcribed into a book at the end of their life, what's the longest one? What is the longest one that would... This question is worded so terribly. Suddenly I'm not in focus either. There we go. If everybody's thoughts are transcribed into a book at the end of their life, how long would the longest one be? Like, I'm talking like how many word count, like how long in word count terms would the longest book of somebody's thoughts in their entire lifetime, how many words would that be? Okay. Really? It's awfully small, don't you think? Okay. Whatever you say, man. Question number 50. If you counted every single decision you made in a single day, how many would there be? This is just like the last one. It's like thoughts, but like it's decisions. This is the last one. How many decisions do you make in a day? And I'm talking like every single decision, not even just conscious decisions. Like, I'm talking like you deciding to walk a certain speed, say a certain thing, open a door handle, that counts as a decision. Choosing to open the door, that's a decision. Walking through the door, that's a decision. How many decisions do you think you make in a day? Not even think. How many decisions do you make in a day? Every single decision, conscious and unconscious. You don't know, do you? That's such a shame. If you would have answered that one correctly, I would have asked you the next set of questions, the next 50 set of questions, but I'm not going to do that because you just about bombed every single question on this questionnaire. So I think I'm just going to stop you right there. I'm going to cut you off. You're done.